Hey everybody, this is Valencia and welcome to my channel Balloons and Business, where I show you the business of balloon and event decor. So today I'm going to show you how I made this round balloon arch. Now, I know sometimes it could be difficult doing round balloon arches, especially getting them to where they looked balanced and full. So I want to show you how I make mine, and hopefully this will help some of you out. So if you want to see how I did this, just stay tuned. So I'm using Sempertex brand balloons, fashion white inside of satin pearl, and these are the 11-inch balloons. As you saw, I just used the pencil to double stuff, and you want to use the inside neck, which is the white neck, to blow the balloon up. I had to do a little stretching there because sometimes it's tricky when blowing up double stuffed balloons. So I'm going to round the balloons out, take that coney shape out of it, and I'm going to use the inside necks. See the inside white necks right there, and tie those two balloons together into dupes. You always want to use the inside neck whenever you're tying together double stuffed balloon. So now I'm going to take two dupes and double twist them together into a cluster of 4. Now I'm going to take my clusters of 4 and I'm going to slide 2 of the balloons onto the pole of the backdrop stand. Then I'm going to twist those 2 balloons around each other to make sure that that cluster stays on the pole. And I'm just going to repeat this process. I'm going to slide a cluster onto the backdrop stand and twist 2 balloons around each other to make sure that those clusters stay on the pole. As you're sliding the clusters on the pole, you want to push them down to decrease the gaps between the clusters. Okay, you want the least amount of gaps possible. So showing you up close, see I'm sliding those 2 balloons onto the pole. I'm pushing that cluster down to decrease gaps, and then I'm twisting those 2 balloons around each other and then pushing the cluster down again to make sure I'm decreasing gaps. So just to give you a count, I used about 18 of these clusters of 4 for the base of this balloon garland. I want to show you how I'm putting it on the bottom. Notice I'm lifting up this stand to slide those balloons underneath and then gently pushing them towards the rest of the balloons and then twisting the 2 balloons around the pole. You want to make sure you got a foot on one of the bottom parts of the stand. So when you're lifting up this stand, you want to make sure your foot is on the other side to balance it out so that the stand won't fall over. And eventually you want to make sure you put a good amount of weight at the base of this stand to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Eventually I'm going to add some more balloons and to really cover it up, but I just want to show you how I did that. So now that I got the base of my balloon garland done, I'm going to tie 2 dupes of balloons together with a 260Q, and I'm going to add these dupes to thicken up the balloon garland. So I'm just wrapping the 260Q balloon around one balloon 2 times to make sure it's nice and secure, and then I'm wrapping the other end around the balloon directly across from it 2 times. And then I'm just rearranging the dupes the way I want to, just to thicken them up. And as you see, I'm going to go up the circle doing this, just adding in dupes. And I'm like skipping maybe every other cluster when I'm adding these dupes. So I'm not adding dupes to every cluster, but every other cluster. Now at the bottom of this arch, you see those balloons are a bit flat. So I'm adding more dupes to the bottom to raise it up a bit. Now to give this a more organic look, I'm going to add some 18-inch balloons. So I'm going to tie a 260Q around the neck of the 18-inch balloon. And then I'm going to wrap the 2 ends around one balloon in the balloon garland and then tie those 2 ends together. And I added about 4 of these in here. The key to this is you want to make sure those larger balloons are nestled into the balloon garland. You don't want them just poking out because that really messes with the overall shape of this arch. Now I'm going to be adding my 5-inch clusters. I made clusters of 3. I'm going to be attaching them with 260Q balloons, 1 on each side. And I'm going to just do the same thing as I did with the dupes. Just wrap them around the balloon in the balloon garland. Wrap it around twice so that it's in there nice and secure. And then I'm just going to arrange them where I want them to go on the balloon garland. Now you want to make sure you don't overdo it with the 5-inch balloons. I see that done a lot, especially with these round balloon arches. People just really overdo it because they're trying to fill in the gaps. I basically use 1 cluster of 5-inch balloons to every 2 clusters of the 11-inch balloons. That's the ratio I used, and it looks pretty balanced and even to me, in my opinion. So I added an additional cluster of 8 11-inch balloons to the very top so that I can make it even with the bottom portion of the arch. And I also changed the position of one of the 18-inch balloons to go further up the balloon arch. So now I want to cover up the rest of that backdrop stand. So I'm using some green garland. Since it's the holidays, I'm going to be using this like green Christmas garland to fit in with the holiday decor. But it doesn't matter what occasion it is. It could be a wedding, it could be a baby shower, it could be anything. You can add whatever type of greenery or florals that you want. If you're going to be adding things like faux leaves and stuff like that, then you would want to first attach some floral foam to the backdrop stand, and then you would attach your faux leaves and things like that. But me, I'm just sticking these acorns and these groups of bulbs onto my faux green garland. And here's the finished product to the round balloon arch. In my opinion, the key to having a nice round balloon arch is to pay attention to symmetry, scope, and scale. You don't want the larger balloon sticking out to where it's messing with the round shape of the balloon arch. You don't want too many 5-inch balloons throwing off the whole symmetry. And you don't want the balloon arch to be too thick or too thin where you can see the pole of the backdrop through the balloons. So let me know what you think in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead on and like it, and please subscribe. And you'll get notifications on future videos on balloon and event decor. And until next time, I will see you guys later.